Hi everyone. I've decided that it's probably easier to show you some techniques in a video and make the card making process a little faster for you, rather than having you do or me do the technique every time. And so I think that I'll try to do some that way, because you may just want to try the technique and do your own thing. And that's great too, right? So I have my little purple, just dollar store or $1.25 store, I guess, tablecloth out. And so we're just going to use that because you can use anything. You can use an old Cricut mat cover because your mat went, dead and not sticky. So now you still have these covers, or you have a piece of acetate or overheads. That's we teachers used to call them. Or any kind of slick surface. You have a glass mat, a watercolor palette even will work most of the time. But I would suggest something a little bit bigger for this, which is why I use this. This works just as well. And when I want to do it again, all I have to do is wipe it off with some water, spray it down pretty good, wipe it down with a paper towel, just fling it around, air dry it a little bit, and it's good to go again for the next round of cards that I want to do. So before we begin, because I always forget this part, thanks for joining us today, but don't forget to click subscribe on the channel below. Click the bell so that you get notified anytime that we get a video up there for you. And if you like the technique, please do me a favor and click on the like so we know that people out there are watching. In addition, if you have any questions, there are lots of videos on YouTube from people way better than me on how to do this, but I am happy to answer any questions you have. Just pop on over to the Facebook group, which is Scrapbooking Stuff Group. And just leave your comment there because I don't really monitor the comments on the YouTube channel. All right, so this is so easy. I am going to use just a small piece of paper here. What you're going to need are a couple. You can, I would say more than one. One will give you sort of a monotone tie-dye effect. I would say a couple, though, is nicer. This, or something like this with the colors, is what we want to end up with from this white sheet of paper. And it's so easy to do. So you need a couple of colors. I use Distress Oxide because that's what I like, but any water reactive ink will do. So whether it's regular Distress ink, I think some of the archivals might be water reactive now. Simon Hurley is water reactive now. Any of them that are water reactive like that should work. And try with dye inks. It might work with those too. I just haven't done it with those, so I can't say yes or no for sure. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You need your heat gun. And I'm not going to use mine for that because my cats are somewhere close by. You may actually see them. And heat guns and cats, dangerous combo. So I'm not actually going to dry in between, but I'm going to tell you the steps now so that you kind of know where I'm going with this. And if I speak too quickly for you, that's the beauty of video. You can always pause, you can get what you need. I would watch the whole thing through first and then go back and try it. That way you kind of have a listen first and then you can practice. So grab as many inks as you want. But if this is your first time doing it, I would limit it to 3 or 2. I wouldn't go crazier than that right now. You're going to need a piece of paper. Does it have to be watercolor paper? It does not. Can it be? Yes, it can. Which kind? Cold or hot? Whatever. Which side? The smoother side or the bumpier side? Whatever. Doesn't matter. This was literally white, regular cardstock. So, and yeah, did it bend a little? Yes, it did. You can see like it's not quite right. But if I'm going to die cut it and glue it down to a card anyway, if it pops up a little bit, I can just stick it under something heavy, right? While I wait for it to adhere and then just go flat. So I'm not really worried about it. So what I'm going to, so you need your heat gun. You need a spritzer. I would say a good spritzer. A mini mister will work. You'll just have to maybe get a couple of them ready because you're going to need probably a lot of water for this depending. The key to this is you don't want to over mist. The more water you put, the less bright or vibrant your color will be. It would be more like a watered down muted version, almost like a watercolory kind of deal. I did not use a ton of water with these nice bright colors. I'm sorry for the shadow. They were bright colors to begin with. They may have been picked raspberry and salty ocean, and I want to say this one may be like a squeezed lemonade because it's kind of bright, but this I grabbed Chevy Shutter, so that's what we're using. And as for the shadow, I'm sorry, it's just the time of day I'm recording in my basement where the lights are and there's no real natural light down here. But you'll get the idea. Okay, so all you're going to do, remove your paper from your little palette and remove your inks. Don't have the ink pads touch each other. Just don't smush, don't press. I would just tap and turn, tap and turn. See how little that is? And I'm just gonna do it randomly. Now, when I do this with my next color, I don't want it to hit or touch where the other ink is because I don't want to transfer it onto this pad. So did I leave myself enough room in between? I did not. Am I famous for that? I sure am. Which is why it's always good to watch first and then usually don't do what I do. All right, so I have all these things here and it's okay if it dries a little bit because you're gonna mist it. Get your water, make sure mine's turned on, nope, it's off. And I'm going 2, 3. Now you see how it changes? I'm gonna try to lower this for you. So you see like this one here, or this here, see how that changes? See how it changes? You see how you can see the water droplets? That's how you know, sorry for the Blair Witch. That's how you know that you're getting enough water on there because that's what you want, okay? So I'm going to spray this. But again, the more I spray, the more diluted it will be. And also the longer I wait, the more the water will dry. I'm gonna take my paper, I'm gonna put the side that I wanna use down. If it's just white, it's okay. That's it. Now lift it. Now I have this. Now, do I like that? I don't, but it's okay, I'm gonna fix it. What you have to do now though, is you have to heat set this. If you just went back while this was wet, all that would happen is you would muddy the colors. Once you heat set it, it's going to stay like this. So I'm not going to heat set mine and you're going to see the difference because you see how you can see the different colors here. And that's with layered. So now I'm gonna go here again without heat setting it and I'm gonna press, you know, because I want certain colors. Now my paper is getting pretty saturated, but that's okay. I have some colors up here. I know I want that corner, so I'm just gonna pop that corner and see now I have some of that. And I want this, but I'm missing something over here. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. But when I do, I'm gonna get color in the other places as well. So this is gonna look kind of muddy when I don't dry in between every layer. So again, when I do this, I would take it off. I would dry it with my heat gun and I would start again. So let's try to do the pink. Can you see the pink? Is it on camera? Off camera? Okay, so you see that pink? See how much water's on there? And then you see this empty spot? That's where we're going. So you see how different that looks? Because I added so much more water to it, it's that lighter pink. So you can start lighter and add darker things. You can add, again, you can add right over it, but now you see how it's coming together. And I would actually do that, which I did on this one. I would turn it like this where the water is, and I would let it drip, and I would let it go. And I would let, you know, see what happens with it. Every time you do this, it's going to be different. So again, I did that. I got some yellow, and I would hold it, and I would see what happens. So this is it. Now, I should have used more water on this blue, but again, if I'm going to use it on a card or I'm die cutting it or I'm not using the full panel like this, or I'm putting something else over it to make it like a shaker card or some other kind of design over it, I'm not going to worry about it because in that case, I'm just going for a background. But if I'm going to see the background and I don't like that it's too square, then I'm going to take my piece of paper, which was not expensive at all, right? Because we used regular cardstock. And I'm just gonna do it again. I'm just gonna take a small piece here. I'm just gonna do it again. Now, odds are also very good that when this dries, I'll like it a lot more. And I can always, again, add more to it. I'm trying to get this all on the thing. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so here's that one. I want some yellow. But again, I would have dried first. Now I would have gone in for the yellow. And here I have some yellow. I would have dried, gone in for some more pink and blue. Maybe I turn it this way. Turning your paper is important. And I'm gonna turn it like this. See how, nope, you don't see that. See how the blue's dripping to the bottom there? And I would dry. Now, if I wanted something more vibrant, again, I would use less water, or I would use a lot of water first, get a base down, and then use less water as I go, as I build and I dry every time. It doesn't matter how many layers you put on it. And if I wasn't done with this, I would just dry it. I would take my water and my paper towel, which I did not bring with me, but I'll show you. My water, my paper towel, just keep misting, and I'm gonna dry it. Hang on, let me get a paper towel, and I will show you how easy it is. Now, I suppose you could use a rag or something, but when you do it again the next time, you definitely want to make sure that you have something clean, because if you put your stamp pads down on this, you don't want to ruin your stamp pads because you didn't get all the color off, or there was color left behind on the rag. Now, you may see some color under there. That's from that. There is nothing left on here, but I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to move these just in case. And then all I have to do is flutter this around a little bit, shake it on around, and I'm good to go next time. And I just used a piece of this. Now, again, it has to be completely dry. So what I would do in the meantime is I'd just flip it over, because I have 2 layers here. So I would just flip it, and I'd start on that side. And then when I'm done, I'd flip it. I would do it again. I wouldn't have it on some ink. I would do it again and just keep flipping. I hope that this technique is helpful for you. Give us a like if it is, or it's something that you've tried. Please try it out and show us on the website. We can't wait to see what you create. Don't forget, Scrapbooking Stuff group on Facebook, and licraftstop.com is the website where you can go and take a look at the events for past classes, as well as card kits and layout kits and other kinds of great crafts that we have for sale. I hope to see you again.